Thank you. Okay. Comments. Okay, got a few more seconds here and then we will start. Okay, exactly 6:30, so I'm going to go ahead and start the public comment section of our meeting. And Shannon Bauer, have I pronounced your name correctly? You would like to make a public comment and speak to agenda item 6. You will have 2 minutes for your public comment and 2 minutes for agenda item number 6. And Jimmy, are you going to be my timekeeper? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Frankie. I thank the Lord God Almighty for his laws that are higher and above every law, and the blood of Jesus, of which there is no law that binds him, or the power of his grace. And I ask the Holy Spirit for his presence and interventions in this meeting. I speak regarding the illegal practice of this board of putting deed restriction violation fines and fines unrelated to water utilities on residents' water bills, forcing them to pay unadjudicated fines that have their water cut off. You've denied residents their right of due process and to go before a judge. You have found them guilty without trial, and you have carried out sentencing by cutting off their water. This is illegal. The 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution states that no state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Article 1, Section 19 of the Texas Constitution states no citizen of this state shall be deprived of life, liberty, property, privileges, or immunities, or in any manner disenfranchised except by the due course of law of the land. The Water Code, which governs you, states in 49.004, Section A, the board may set reasonable penalties for the breach of any rule in the district that shall not exceed the jurisdiction of a justice court. The Administrative Code of Texas states, Title 16, Part 2, Chapter 24, Subchapter F, Section 3, charges for non-utility services or any other fee or charge not specifically authorized by the Texas Water Code or these rules or specifically listed in the utilities tariff may not be included on the bill. My own deed restriction states that you must take all enforcement of fines to a court of nearest jurisdiction. When police hand out tickets, you have the right to face them in court. The TCEQ, the commission that governs you, must take individuals violating water code to court. Even the federal government must find judgment against individual citizens in court. And somehow you think you're the only entity who is above having to take people to court. Agenda item 6, Water Code 54237 is what you have cherry-picked to say that you can do anything you want. Part B says, a district may take all actions necessary to enforce a restriction, comma. But Part A, the part you never quote, it says that it is subject to all other instruments that affect real property in a district that have not been abandoned. The U.S. Constitution, the Texas Constitution, and my deed restrictions are not abandoned instruments and are still in effect. They are not canceled by Part B. Part B is subject to them and not the other way around. You've been publicly informed of the law, and now you and Infomark are legally liable for this information, and any action from here on out is willfully breaking the law, of which every board member is now liable, and every individual in Infomark that aids in this corruption is also liable in a court of law. You should be aware that your insurance will not cover the court costs of knowingly breaking the law. As individuals, you personally bear that cost. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shannon. Gerald Burgess, you want to make a public comment and you want to talk about number 2.
Yes. Take this off. Ready? Okay. So some of the residents of this community have formed a committee. Some of the people on that committee are an engineer, an accountant, an auditor, and maybe a lawyer. And we're going to review TOR documents that we request with regards to any accusations made towards any board member, any vendor, any director, any resident, et cetera, et cetera. When we have all these documents, including, but not limited to, spreadsheets, emails, reports, et cetera, with regards to these allegations, we will review them, and then we will present our findings publicly to the board to determine if any of these allegations have any substance. So this is Highland Park. Cedar Park High School marching band won the 5A championship for the fourth year in a row on November the 2nd, 2020. That's a four-peat for all you interested. We are working on getting the hats that replace this one that says four-peat instead of three-peat. My sons were on three of those four championships. So that's a parent's prerogative, right? That's it for my public comment. And then, okay, so this, just want to inform the board that we are updating all the unsightly rulings that the ACC has issued in the past. All those sightings will be presented to the board. If they will allow us to publish them on the MUD's website, we will do that. If not, we plan to print them all off and hand them out to each of you guys and to the attorney. That is in progress. There's been some hiccups, technical hiccups, but we plan to try to get that done this week. We also are going to present the board with reports on a monthly basis of what we've been doing, all the people that we had applied for ACC requests, applications, and our results of those applications. And we're going to keep a pretty detailed record. And we're also going to report to the board where we feel AC applications have not been filed, and we feel that's a violation of the deed restrictions. And we then turn that over to you guys, and you guys can then take the appropriate action. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, David Flores, you want to make a public comment?
Yes.
And speak to agenda items 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8.
Well, what Shannon presented was pretty amazing, I think. It's stating the law and stating what you guys should abide by. Every month we come and I feel like nothing gets resolved. We don't move forward. We're just stagnant in this limbo of you guys fighting the people. Do we need more lawsuits? No, we don't need to spend more money on lawyers. The biggest problem is that they're taking all our money. He's getting paid a hell of a lot. He gets his buddies. You get paid a hell of a lot too, the other firms. Okay, maybe they're not his buddies, but they're in another firm. They get paid. They get paid a whole bunch of money. Infomark is the biggest culprit of them all, and you guys just give them the money. Jimmy doesn't need to do the video recording. All of you should be doing it. We don't need to pay him to be here to do that. You should be smart enough to be able to take care of the video. We don't need these people here. You're wasting money. And I don't know what you're afraid of changing our vendors or listening to the people, but you guys just don't do that. I don't feel that you listen to the people. I really don't. I'm the people. They're the people. I'm standing here every year, every meeting I'm here. But yet you deny me to be part of this community, okay? I make suggestions. Catherine, I don't see her. I told you what she did, lied to the sheriff, a policy violation that you put forward, and you don't put it on the agenda numerous times. Where am I at, Jimmy?
10 seconds.
Okay, so let's move on to business. Number 2, Sage Management Report. What I wanted to talk about that is we're going into a moratorium for the overnight parking. That's a chance for them not to go patrol. I think if we stop doing the overnight parking, all the other neighborhoods have stopped overnight parking enforcement, right? Have they? Well, they have. So you always say that we can't stop enforcement in our streets because it diminishes the value of our homes. I believe that's what your response is. But why the other 4 neighborhoods that we have here don't enforce it, the overnight parking? So obviously you guys are lying to the people that it's going to diminish our value in our homes when 4 of the 5 are not enforcing overnight parking. I'm sorry, 3, because you do find Hunter's Glen 2 people that don't have an HOA, don't have a neighborhood association. you find them as well. They should be nothing associated with Andersonville West. So I think you guys should really stop enforcing the overnight parking equally throughout the whole district, because you obviously, 3 out of the 5 are not being fined. So make it fair for everybody. You're gonna break the rules for these guys, you gotta break the rules for the other guys. I don't even think you should break the rules. You should be working to change the deed. Go out there, knock on doors. Do you want the deed changed? You guys talk about it all the time that, oh, the deeds are so outdated. Do something about it. Put some work in. You guys don't work. You don't. Your
Let's
work
stay in
ethic
ta- let's-
is this.
let's stay
This
in
is your
task.
work ethic. Stop interrupting me, okay? Because
Number
you have
two.
to listen to me. He
Number
had not
two.
called time yet, and you're interrupting me. There you go.
You have to-
Exactly.
You need to stay on the topic, that's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And the topic was the Sage Management Report.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 3 is the pending appeals of fines.
Pending appeals of fines. Stop wasting the money. Stop sending people, and stop sending Bill all this work that is not necessary. Stop spending the money. You're just giving it to them. Next one. Holiday moratorium. We should just continue it on forever. Why are we enforcing it? Next one. You know what? I'm so pissed off right now at all y'all because we never do anything here. Just the same old run around. I'm not even going to speak for the rest of the agenda items because you just don't get it. Let's do number 8, future board meetings. Part of a community, right? I suggested how many times we should change the schedule around. You guys complained that 2 meetings in 1 week. Oh my God, it's so exhausting. I can't do it. It's tiring. Well, spread it out. Do the first week or third week. First and third, second or fourth. Give each other some time between meetings. Don't make it so exhausting on yourselves. Do one on a Saturday so other people can come. So, yes, this is part of that future agenda, so I can speak on the schedule. You know, you're shaking your head there.
I love what we do.
Yeah, you always do. Never want to change anything. Want to stay stuck. Gotcha.
Okay, thank you, David. Okay, I'm going to close agenda item number 1 of the public comment section of this meeting, and I'm going to move on to agenda number 2, Sage Management Reports.
You all got your report electronically, that was by board choice because we were trying to save paper. I'm happy to say that, on the overnight parking, the numbers have come down substantially. We did not have any fines go out at all in Dayfire. Most of them are all friendlies, and it seems to be new people in the neighborhood that aren't aware of the rules. And usually, we can send them the friendly, and we've gotten phone calls, or they've called, check on what the rules are, and we talk about it, and it's getting fixed. So, we are going into the holiday season where we'll have a lot of college kids coming home, and that's something that you all need to decide, how you want to handle that for the month of December. In the past, Thanksgiving wasn't so late in the month, but this month, in November, we're able to get 2 overnight tours in. So you have had 3 overnight tours over the summer twice, and you've had the full 2 in November. So you're covered if you're thinking that we didn't have the extra ones to go with that. We did have one vehicle that we were dealing with that has been resolved. It's not my car, it's my neighbor's car, and then the neighbor was like, it's not my car, it's another neighbor's car. But we were fortunate enough to find the same car parked in the driveway to which it belongs during the day, so that has been resolved. And then the same thing for the day violations. Trash cans in view, limited. We're issues with trash cans in the street, but that is something that the committee is going to address. It's on their plate, and it's gonna be worked out in the future. So I'm not gonna talk to that anymore than it's coming, but later. Yards and hedges, this is the season where we have a lot of, the purple nut sage. It's those little sprouts, the weeds, the yard will be, mowed, but then you have those little sprouts come up. So we've been trying to work with the residents that are having those issues and really just address the yards that are really, really tall that need to get, addressed. Other than that, trailers, boats, RVs, numbers are down all the way around. I think, we're finally, people are getting their yards, and there's still some damage from the trees from the freeze. So we had trailers, but I think people are catching up with the damage from the trees, and we're not seeing as many trailers. I won't speak to any specific ones here because we want to protect the confidentiality and privacy of the residents. So we'll wait to address any specific ones in closed session.
Okay. Okay, so what I would like to do then is jump to agenda item 4. And
Wait, I have some questions about the management report, and we don't have to use any addresses at all. We can maintain confidentiality without doing that.
okay,
I want to talk to Diana and Jimmy about their obstruction of sidewalks ruling, because that is not a deed violation, that is a violation of the law. And I don't believe either of you are sworn peace officers. So there's a board directive, a resolution from last July that directs you, if it's a problem, to call the appropriate law authority, not cite a resident for obstructing the sidewalk.
We have not cited anyone for obstructing a sidewalk.
Actually, there's 2 this month that's the cure you gave in the letter, the cure.
Oh, it was for the yard that was, I remember that. Okay.
Going over the sidewalk. So we want to be really careful about that because we don't want anyone thinking that you're representing law enforcement here, because that's not the case.
No, it was a friendly letter. It
No,
was not.
it's in the pre-fine stage. It's in the
And
pre-fine
it
stage.
got to the pre-fine stage, and it is my understanding that the yard and the sidewalk has been cleaned up. It was a maintenance issue, a yard maintenance issue.
And-
The yard maintenance issue?
Yes.
Why was it, you determined that it was a sidewalk?
That's what it says on the cure, how to fix the problem.
The shrubs were growing out over the sidewalk, so
That
the shrubs were
one-
not being trimmed.
Yeah, one branch was over the sidewalk, and if you go 2 houses down, you can't even push a baby stroller through. It's so far grown over. So it has to be consistent, and there's a remedy for it. If it's a problem, the resolution says they call law enforcement. They do not put somebody in the deed violation scheme.
Let me see if I understand. So we're gonna call law enforcement for them to have low-hanging branches, to remove low-hanging branches,
And if they have bushes growing over the
so they can
sidewalk,
have easement.
so you can walk through the sidewalk. You guys did this last year. You don't remember this one? It's on the website.
Realistically, the law enforcement officer is gonna come.
No.
no,
Well, we've been, at the committee level, it is a work in progress regarding sidewalk blocking with other issues. And it is still a work in progress, and we can answer your question better once we have the committee sit down and review it and make a decision on how they want to move forward on that.
well, I also think that we need to make a distinction between bushes and hedges that are growing over sidewalks and cars that are blocking sidewalks. My recollection was that resolution was about cars blocking sidewalks so that you couldn't walk down them, not yard maintenance issues.
Common sense would tell you, if you have low-hanging branches or grass that is impairing somebody, or
Right,
that's a yard maintenance issue.
yes, I agree,
Okay, so if it's a car blocking the driveway, absolutely, that's for the authorities to.
right.
Well, then the letter clearly should say yard maintenance issue and not obstructing the sidewalk. I'm sure you'll agree with that. So that's the point I'm making. And yard maintenance issues, we don't really have anything to define that. There's an opinion paper on the web, but it is not an ACC ruling of any kind. It's an opinion. And we don't even know whose opinion or when it was written, who authored the document. It's just a document that's on the website. So before we start citing people for that, we really should have something of value that we can say, yes, this low-hanging branch impedes the value of property, because that's the only authority we have to
Okay.
enforce the deed.
Okay, we're not gonna get picky about saying that we can't enforce lawn maintenance issues because
We don't have anything in the deed that says we can.
I disagree.
No,
Yeah.
it's the truth. I mean, I know you disagree, you always do,
No.
but it's the truth. There's
No.
nothing inside of the deed that says you can. It says maintenance of the real property, the house. It's real specific about the house.
Okay,
Well, you
okay,
can- I mean, she can send her suggestions to the committee. It's something that you all are working on, and
Yeah.
we'll work through it. If we need to change the letter, we'll do it in committee, and we'll bring it back.
but,
It's not, I mean,
yeah,
we're going into a season where the grass is not gonna be growing
Right.
much.
right,
So it gives us some time to address it and clear up all these little,
I think we're splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
yeah, and I,
If you're getting, the
Yes.
letters are getting fined, it's not splitting hairs.
well,
You're the victim on the other end, it's not splitting hairs.
there hasn't been anybody getting a fine for,
Why do you think that's funny, Linda?
I don't.
Why
Not
are
at
you
all, I
laughing?
think it's sad.
Why
Oh,
are
I'm
you
not laughing,
laughing?
laughing is completely different.
And I wouldn't use the term victim. If you break the deed
If it's
restriction,
not in the deed, if
listen,
it's not there,
well, if it's yard maintenance, okay, well.
yeah,
our deeds don't say yard maintenance. You live in an HOA, yours is very, very clear and specific. Ours is not. Ours is so loose. It is not defined in there. Please read the single-digit sections for Anderson Mill West.
I see your point, I see your point.
okay. Okay, I'd still like to move on to agenda number 4, because I'd like to talk about the moratorium for enforcing overnight parking. So normally what we do is don't we normally start art like the weekend before Thanksgiving? And then we go through December, and then when does college,
Until January.
January 3rd, I thought it was last year.
was it, well, see, it's interesting because Thanksgiving is really late, and then, New Year's Eve is really early, if that makes any sense. So I was gonna say through, when does school start again? Does it start on the 3rd?
Because it was when the kids go
It's
back
that
to school.
first week.
But
of
if we're looking at
January.
when college
Yeah.
kids are gonna go back, they
It's
often
the
don't go
second
back
week.
till like the second or third week in January.
Well, so I was gonna say through the first, at least through the first week.
Yeah,
What is it?
can I make a
What's going on?
suggestion?
Yeah,
Well, and let me give you a little history from since we've been on. We used to do it Thanksgiving week, because college kids were coming home
Right.
Thanksgiving week. Throughout the COVID, kids just came home and didn't go back. So, the next semester, when they did go back to school, they were allowed to come home Thanksgiving and do their finals virtually. So we had kids through the Thanksgiving week through December, and so we did extend it a little bit longer. But now they're back on a regular schedule, so I think we can work it out that within the scheduling, that you can just do your moratorium in December if you wish, because we already got 2 in before the Thanksgiving holiday,
okay.
and then we can just push it to after the 5th or 6th, when most kids go back to school.
Meaning,
6th of January.
Yeah, we can push it, we can schedule it, because
I
it's
mean,
gonna be.
when you schedule
Yeah,
your
when we
tours.
schedule, and we'll still get 2 tours in January.
Okay.
To meet your,
So when
Requirements.
is it starting? Now?
By this weekend, aren't the kids coming home?
Soon.
This weekend,
Let's just leave it at that.
Not
Friday.
need a date.
I think you can start it at the end of the month,
But-
at Thanksgiving, which is.
Well, I was gonna say the 20th, this weekend. Well,
For the
What
night.
day is Friday? Because the kids will be coming on Friday and Saturday.
19th.
Yeah, they gotta take midterms or something, right?
Yeah. So if we started Friday night, right?
Well, I was gonna just start on the weekend, on the 20th.
Through January 6th? Is that right?
I think that's about the norm.
I'm looking at UT's calendar, just as an example of
Why
when.
don't we just make it the 7th, Friday?
Yeah.
January 14th,
You can make it the
January
first, and we can adjust our schedule.
yeah, it just depends if you're trying to capture college kids or not, which
I think
don't.
we should, because that's really, I can tell you right now, in my neighborhood, 3 or 4 cars that'll end up in
Because
there.
well,
Oh.
yeah, in elementary school, kids don't drive, so that's not really an issue.
It's not the issue, it's all.
So like UT goes back to 18th of January.
So we went through, the 14th, is that what we
So
think
Art
then?
had it the first time, what was that?
Yeah, that's one.
I thought we were gonna do the 20th through the 7th, right? Or, when do the kids go back to school?
See, that's what she was saying, the 18th. So I was thinking we should go another week in order to get the kids back out of
I know
college.
my neighborhood, I mean, the cars, there's a lot of cars coming.
Yeah.
But then some of them are already
So
graduated.
if they already get the weekend, let's just do the 14th, right? So that would actually allow them till 17th.
Yeah, so make the moratorium, the 20th of November through the 14th of January.
Okay. Does somebody want to make a motion? Somebody make a motion. Yeah, make a motion.
I'll make a motion to set the holiday moratorium from beginning November 20th and ending January 14th.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. Any more discussion?
Yes, there will be more discussion.
Okay,
Amazingly, David said exactly what I had calculated today. There are 1,541 properties in this MUD district where street parking is not a violation of the deed or not enforced by the HOA. There are only 390 properties total in the whole entire MUD that are impacted by the overnight parking restriction, and more than half of stage management's fee is to look at those 390 properties 2 times a month. So I have to agree that I don't think that we can make an argument that people who park their cars in the street between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning are impacting the value of property.
I can tell you.
I do agree that there are situations where there is a safety or health hazard that can be caused by a car that's in the street in any part of the neighborhood, in any part of the MUD. And those issues do need to be dealt with. I agree with that. But I think across the board, touring in the middle of the night to see who's parking in the street is a waste of taxpayer dollars. I don't think there's any value added. I absolutely do not agree that it impacts the value of property when 1,541 other homes do not impact their property values by parking in the street. And we all appreciate at the same rate. Our properties appreciate at the same rate. So you can't make that argument. If you have a very valid reason to enforce against 390 homes, I would like to know what that is.
okay.
Well, if I back out of my driveway and there's a car out there, I will hit it. And people have hit mine when it's out in the street. Because you cannot get out of the driveway.
Right.
I can without
Okay.
any
You live in
issue.
an older neighborhood than I do.
Well,
Your neighborhood's not my
the streets are designed with the same width, otherwise they can't be a
They're
public
not
street.
beside the same.
Anyways, if that's the case and only 390 properties have that issue, it's not cost effective to have Sage Management tour. It
Okay.
isn't.
Okay, I'm gonna call the vote. So,
So you're not going to allow it to be discussed in a public meeting?
no, we are discussing it, and the vote right now that we're doing is whether or not we're going to have a holiday moratorium. That is the discussion before us. That is the vote,
Yes.
whether we are going to have a holiday moratorium. So
Okay.
I'm going to call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I would
There we
like to
go.
make a motion then.
Okay.
I would like to motion that this board reconsider the enforcement of overnight parking on the 390 properties that are impacted by that restriction in their deed, and determine what impact there is to the value of the property and the cost associated with enforcing that.
So let's, I don't wanna discuss it. You're saying there's 350,
90
that's street parking, right?
overnight street parking.
Overnight street parking. But there's other, deed restrictions that limit what you can park. What are they, Bill? Once, if they're in the street, that's a violation, but if they're not in the street, I'm trying to remember what the,
This, the only one I'm even interested in discussing is the overnight parking in the street.
Is it on the agenda?
It's a
No.
motion that I put before the board.
And we don't have, do we have a second?
okay, so, let me understand. So you're saying out of how many homes?
1,931,
Only 350 have?
390.
390.
I will not do that to my neighborhood, they would go ballistic.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. How about if we, since there's only 390 homes, why don't we poll those 390 homes and ask them what they want? This might be a good example of how to change
Well,
the deed effectively.
when you did the Tacoma court, they pretty much let you know that they did not want people parked on the street at night.
That is one.
That's our whole neighborhood, because you can't get out of the driveways.
That is one court, one cul-de-sac. They don't speak for everyone.
So you're saying it's okay for everybody to park on the street at night so that we can't get out of our own driveways?
I am saying that, no, of course not. That
That's
would
what
be,
you're saying.
that would be
That you wanna
ludicrous.
get rid of that so people can park on the street and people that live in those homes cannot get out of their house.
I think the people need to make that decision, and if it impacts them the way you claim it does, they will say no.
I
They
think
will
that
say
they
no.
should change the deed restrictions.
I think, I agree with you, or this board could do it for them
Okay,
by
okay.
not enforcing.
Wait, how can we do that? We can't.
We don't change the deed restrictions. The
No.
neighborhoods, the
They can.
sections have to go ahead and do it on their own.
Or we can make a decision to not enforce. That's an option.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a motion before us. We have a second. I'm gonna go ahead and call the vote. So all those in favor of,
Catherine, I'm sorry. Can
Yeah.
I guess I don't understand what I'm voting for, because reconsider is a pretty broad.
For people that, she wants people to park on the street at night.
No, the motion was to reconsider. I am always open to reconsidering anything, always open to listening to what people have to say about it, but I just need to know exactly what reconsider means.
Reconsider, right now,
Functionally.
the 390 homes are toured for twice a month, okay, twice a month. They're cited for parking in the street. The other 28 days of the month, they're not. I'm asking this board to reconsider not enforcing that part of the deed, except in cases where there's a health or safety issue at play. An 18-wheeler that's parking.
Yeah, and
I'm
how do you
saying,
know
how
if
do
you
we-
can't get out of the
how do
driveway and
we-
you can't? I would
Call
never do
police.
that.
What information are we considering as part of this reconsideration? That's my
We're,
question.
we're,
What does
we're,
that functionally mean, to
we're,
reconsider?
right now you do something, reconsider to not do it. That's the reconsideration. Consider not doing it anymore. Consider not spending $3,000, probably $2,500 a month.
yeah, this is way
There's
beyond, yeah.
No, because you did actually give some concrete stuff a minute ago. You said, why don't we poll residents? That's a concrete thing. That's concrete data. And, okay, so let's talk about that. But just a vague reconsideration, because if we're gonna do that, why wouldn't we just vote on it right
I
now?
think we need
Clearly,
to research it more.
right.
I think so too,
what are
and-
we gonna do to research it is what data are we looking for? And that's a discussion.
It's a very simple question. This is in your deed and we enforce it in your section. Do you support this enforcement or would you prefer that it was no longer enforced? I don't think you do that for all the other things you don't enforce. You didn't do it for antennas or fire pits or anything else, but we should do it with the parking because it is a source of contention for a whole lot of people.
It is some people love it, some people hate it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and, yeah,
And there is an avenue, a very inexpensive avenue for those people who absolutely hate it to do something about it when it impacts them.
they could,
Well, when you get your car hit every time you try to get pulled out, yeah.
You could talk to your neighbor.
You
Well-
can talk to your neighbor and say,
or you
Knows
could,
whose
you
car it
could,
is.
you could
Maybe
live
if you
someplace
don't always know whose car
where
it is.
you're allowed to park on the street.
Linda and David, where you guys live, you have more room than where we have on our side. That's why the Gama
You know
Court
what I'm
will
gonna
list-
do? I'm gonna measure the width of her street and my street,
You
because
should.
those are
They're
standard.
pretty standard.
They're standard. And
Okay.
There might be more congestion.
But I do agree with you, because I have had a neighbor who unknowingly, it was never intentional, would park just exactly behind my driveway. And I had to be extra careful not to clip his truck when I
Mine's
left.
been hit twice.
So what I did is, I talked to him and I said, could you park on the other side? And he
Well,
said, oh my
you don't
goodness.
know whose car it is. That's what they're saying on the Gama Court. That's why they came here and went ballistic.
That's 14 people out of 390.
That whole neighborhood in there does not
I
have
say
the room.
I say we let the people.
So how do we find out this
We
information?
can, Infomark in their contract has the ability to do a survey. We do a quick 2-question survey
Listen.
with water bill.
Wait a minute, this is way
We're
beyond.
talking about.
I know, but what I'm saying is, what we're talking about now is,
You wanted to
pass
do a
them-
moratorium and we passed.
Now, I
No.
think you should put 2 cars on the street and try to put one in the middle.
Wait, let me ask this. This
Okay.
is a better question. This is a better question.
Right.
If I go and park my car over in section 17 or 18, I'm not gonna get a fine.
okay,
I'm not gonna get a fine, right?
I'm,
Neighborhood.
Bill, are there any problems associated with us trying to figure out whether or not we should enforce or not enforce one rule versus others in the deed? Is there anything that we should be
Here's why I'm
considering from
concerned,
a?
'cause when I was gonna buy here, is that Hunter, on Little Elm, that neighborhood right there, you couldn't have a car parked there at any time whatsoever. That was in the deed restrictions. Before we bought the house, it said, they're very strict here on overnight parking, you cannot park overnight here. So I didn't buy a house there because,
Well, where you live has that in your deed.
well, I know, but it's 72 hours, you know, and it was a longer.
And it's not
drive.
enforced.
Yeah.
It's not enforced.
Yeah, it's really hard to enforce that, but
Yeah.
here or there, I mean, I just didn't want to take the risk. So
right,
we have a lot of neighborhoods like that, and we have that one neighborhood like that. So we have to really delve into this and figure out what we're gonna enforce.
Well, here's something that I really want you to think about. 28 days out of the month, it is not enforced. Only 2 days out of the month is
Yeah, but-
enforced. So, you're not really,
yes.
it's a lot of money.
No,
It's
but
a
let's,
lot of
let's
money
look at
every
it
year.
from a different point of view.
All right?
The purpose of the twice-a-month tours is to remind everybody what the rules are.
I'll
So,
have you squid it out if you're gonna keep it up. If you're gonna sass with me, you can leave.
so,
We made a rule that we would not put up with people doing what you're doing right now. Are you gonna
Okay.
stop, or do I need to ask him to have you escorted out?
He doesn't follow your rules.
He doesn't follow?
He doesn't follow your teaching.
Follow the law.
May I ask him to be escorted out?
sure,
We have to be disruptive in order to be escorted out.
you're
He
being
is-
distracted, and disruptive is, if she feels that you're being disruptive, I will support her. So,
Law enforcement has to decide that, not you.
actually, law enforcement does what I ask them to do in this
Oh,
case.
not ready. Don't say
Yes.
that. Don't say that.
Listen, I'm in charge of this meeting, that's all I'm trying to say. Is, okay, so, I'm gonna call the vote here. I really, Linda, you're making an awful lot of really,
I'm ready to dig into it.
Hold on,
Catherine, let him go. Let him go.
what I'm trying to say is, you're making you're talking about an awful lot of stuff. I think that your, motion is too broad. And, okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to, let's go ahead and call the motion. All those in favor?
I vote for it because I wanna study it. I wanna see where we're at. Because this deed restriction is such a sticky wicket. I'm tired of it. I wanna make sure we got everything nailed down.
You
So,
had 2 votes.
Yes.
so
exactly.
can,
I'm not gonna do it.
Bill, is there anything we should be considering related to this from a legal perspective? Like, if we're looking at one particular restriction over them in general?
Okay, so let me start by reminding the board that you have no obligation to enforce deed restrictions at all as a MUD. So it's an optional thing. when you do decide to enforce deed restrictions, you can make exceptions on enforcement. It's not possible, practical to enforce every restriction every minute, so you have a system of enforcement. When you decide to stop enforcing a certain restriction, you need to make a determination. Primarily, we make a determination on the ones we've done formally that it's not necessary to sustain property values in the district. So then, in those cases, the board's deciding, okay, this is a restriction. We don't think it's significant enough for us to enforce, or we think it's impossible for us to enforce, impractical, it costs so much money, it's impossible. So those are the things you look at. In the past, I think Linda's right, we probably didn't do a lot of polling of individuals and public opinion, and the board certainly can do that if you want to do that. But those are really the factors in it. Overnight parking has been something that every time it's come up, the board that was in place wanted to continue it. They knew what was involved. This board can vote to discontinue if they want to. It's an option.
And someone that did get rid of it has been struggling with it right now. In a certain.
Anyway, did I answer your question?
I don't want to do that.
I think so.
And
I
just
think
as a
so.
reminder, if your light is blinking red, your
It-
mic is off.
It is green.
So okay. We sort of, broke up the calling of the vote. We have 2-4. I'm voting against because the motion is just too broad. I'm not, and I don't have a problem researching the issue. I just don't think that this motion is the vehicle to do it with.
What is the
After
motion?
Tacoma Court, I'm not gonna do
The
that.
motion is to stop the to stop the overnight
It's to reconsider.
You're right.
until we decide we want to continue or not. Is
Well-
that really what we're saying?
Yes, that's really what we're saying.
Well, we're saying we're gonna reconsider it, not that we're gonna stop it.
Correct.
Right, that we're gonna consider stopping it. So is there a way that we can modify the motion so that there's a more concrete action item versus just reconsider? Because that, I agree, is that who's gonna do it? What are we doing? Are we all just going out on our own and considering it? Or are we actually, is somebody gonna do something
I
to?
mean, we have some numbers in front of us. We have to, no offense against you.
No.
We gotta verify that,
Right,
right? We
right.
gotta make sure we're talking apples and apples and not oranges and apples. We gotta make sure that's intact.
But
So,
we don't really need to even do a poll necessarily. We don't even have to ask the residents. We can literally make that decision.
Well, we
No,
have a
I do
lawyer
it
in our
now.
neighborhood that said that he
We-
would sue if we did that.
Well,
So,
Did you say that, Bill?
No, we have a lawyer and that lives in our neighborhood that if we were to get rid of the parking, he would be very upset and he would file.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that.
Well, my point is this, it could be just a decision of the board, or it could be an outreach thing where we ask people that are impacted, the 390 homes, if what they would prefer. Either way would work.
Yeah,
for lack of a better term, I want the bang for the buck. So what I wanna know is the enforcement critical? Is it really impacting our community?
The value of property, that's the only
Well,
thing we
that
can
and,
enforce.
there's
No,
more
it's
value,
more
probably
than
That's what the
tangible.
water code gives us the authority to enforce,
Right,
nothing else.
right.
Nothing else.
Right, okay.
I live in one, and so does Beth, live in a section where there is no on-street parking. And I know just from talking to people that there are a lot of people who really like that. There's people who hate it, but there's also a lot of people who really like that rule. And have told me before, I would be so upset if that rule went away because I feel like it looks so much neater, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So I do think there's a variety of opinion there. So I don't know that I'm comfortable just making a unilateral decision on that without getting a gauge for what my neighbors
Right.
think about it.
The other thing that I think is really important to remember is we're not talking about the 390 homes and, 390 property owners today. We're talking about the property owners tomorrow, 5 years from now. We're talking about making a decision that is going to have a huge impact on what our community looks like.
In the middle of the night, And
No,
we're
no,
not
no, no,
suggesting
long
changing the deed at all, we're just
Well, see,
saying,
that's where I
choose-
disagree with you.
choose
where we
not
should
to
do.
enforce.
Okay, right now, we've got 2 on, 2 on. You gotta decide what we're gonna do.
I would like a more specific motion. So
So-
for this motion, no, but if the motion is modified,
Okay,
I will modify the motion.
okay.
I motion.
Not tonight, though. We
Yes, I want to finish this, we're not gonna just keep putting things off.
listen, yeah, we are. This one is gonna get put off. It's gonna get put off
Well,
until
we're in a
Jan.
moratorium and not enforcing, well, that's just lovely.
Yeah. So, okay, so my,
That's why we can't
This
get
is-
anything done.
Stand up.
what I would, what I
You
would,
need to watch.
what I would suggest,
Speak.
listen, no more comments from the, community public comment section of the meeting is over. So, Linda, this is what I will do for you, though, is, Bill, let's put this on the DRC, agenda for January.
January?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we need to be done with it before this moratorium that is not going to be enforcing it anyway is over, so that we can come out of this moratorium period with a decision. We don't need to drag it on infinitely.
I'm putting it on the agenda for January, Bill. Okay. So,
You're obstructing progress, Catherine.
I am picking and choosing the order in which they get on the agenda. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so we've gotten rid of, done 2, we've done 4. Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to be going into executive session on 3, 6, 7, correct?
As I understand it, there are no appeals tonight, so it won't be on 3.
Okay, so
It'll
there's
just be
nothing for
6
3.
and 7.
There is an appeal that I sent to Catherine almost a month ago.
Uh,
I sent it to you electronically, that is the originals.
right, okay. So we will take this, we will do this in an executive session. So we're gonna do 3 and 6 and 7. Why don't we take care of 5 right now, the minutes from the prior DRC meetings, because I'd like to do is just get everything that's not going to be an executive session complete.
Okay. I didn't read January 18th, I read October 18th. and-
What do you mean, January?
Huh?
I read October.
And I read July, I got through July, a special board meeting.
Okay, so
The 3,
The DRC.
DRC minutes that we brought for the board tonight are January, February, and October. And the January and February have been pending for a while, and we brought them last month, and the board decided to look at them more closely. So,
Okay,
so we have 3 sets, January, February, and October. Allison has copies if anybody needs a copy to look at.
I don't have February, but I read.
no, not February, these are January, oh, I'm sorry, here's February 15th if you don't have it.
I still need to go over them. I'm not
Oh,
ready.
there.
Oh, there you go.
There's too much in there. I need to.
Well, I make a motion to
I did
approve
review them, but.
October 18th.
I did find one typo in October 18th, but I have only read 2 pages.
okay,
Okay,
so, okay, I will second October 18th.
With that one, the grammar thing?
It's just a typo,
Yeah,
Okay, with,
it's a correction. I haven't read the whole thing though, so I'll have to abstain.
all right, so I haven't read the other ones.
okay.
I'm not ready to do that one.
Okay, you're not ready to, okay.
No.
Do we have 3 people ready to do October?
I read it, yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. All in favor?
Aye.
All those abstaining?
I'm abstaining,
Okay.
I'm abstaining until I've read it. I will send you corrections before the next meeting.
Okay, so what do we want to do about January and February?
I can't vote on those.
Okay. Do you want to hold it one more week? I'm sorry, one more meeting? Can we vote on, can we make an agreement that everyone will have read them for Wednesday?
Yes.
I'll read about it.
Okay, okay,
I can agree.
okay. Okay, so future board meetings. Agenda number 8. Okay, so we have a board meeting that's already been set for Wednesday. Then, we've got, then, let me remind everybody, we've got on the board meeting for December, we've got the RFQ for the general counsel on it, and we had planned on,
The 8th and the 9th are the.
right, well, what I was thinking of doing was, and let me, tell me if you think this will work, is that we move that, that special board meeting that we were gonna do on either the 8th or the 9th to the 13th, and then have a combined meeting on the 15th. A DRC and,
The
board,
15th is the board meeting.
right,
Okay.
And just use the 13th for the
Right.
interviewing?
right, that was my, that's
Are we
what,
not having another, a Wednesday meeting next week?
no, there's no Wednesday meeting scheduled for next week.
Okay. Is that gonna be forever?
I think that, I'm hoping that, yeah, that's what
I
we're,
would
that's
like
what,
that to be a board decision, Catherine, and not you making decisions for the board.
well, the reason that we went to the second meeting was to try to, give you and, Megan time to, so that we could, because we
Yeah, I
had so
think
much
we're-
going on, yeah. I'm hoping that we can just continue on with just having,
I
One
don't
meeting.
disagree with you, I just think that decisions that impact the entire board
But
are
let's
made
put
by a
a
vote.
motion for it if we need to, that way.
We just, or all agree, we don't
Well-
have to do a motion, just to consent that we all agree we're not gonna do them anymore.
we don't need to do them then, that's
We don't-
right.
We
And
don't, so long as you
Yeah.
put all items on the agenda, as long as you're not doing that, there's a problem.
Okay, so I'm just telling you right now, we're not having a second meeting, this month.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so are we okay with conceptually having a combined meeting on, December 15th and then doing, doing our interviews on the 13th? So that would then, the meeting on the 13th would just have one agenda item, and it would just be,
When you say combined DRC and board,
right,
okay, we would have to start early, because I have to fly out on the 16th. Early in the morning,
okay, so,
on a FedEx airplane. That's like 4 in the morning.
okay, so what we're saying is, we're gonna have a light meeting.
Or an early meeting or something, because if we're gonna combine both, it's
Early.
gonna be a long meeting.
Okay, so
If
we
you can
wanna start.
accommodate me, I would appreciate it.
Yes, we will, I have no problem doing that. Can we start, at 5:30? Can we start it earlier? Yeah. How early can we make it? Is 5 too early?
Only from the standpoint that people from the public who want to attend often get off work at
Well, and
5,
we can
so,
start with the DRC, and then,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or offer public comments at the end of the meeting?
Can you be here at that time for DRC?
We'll make it work.
Okay. So, do we just wanna make it 5:30?
5:30.
You wanna do 5:30? Okay, we're gonna make it 5:30.
Okay, 5:30. On the 15th, correct?
Right.
You could ask me too, Catherine.
I'm asking everybody.
5:30 is fine.
Yeah.
So Catherine, just to clarify, the December 13 meeting will be a special board meeting to interview candidates for general counsel.
Yes, yes.
What time do you want to start that meeting?
What time do we wanna start it? Do we wanna start it at 6:30? Or do we wanna start it at 6? Does somebody have an opinion?
13th?
Yeah, on the 13th.
That, I mean, how long does it?
I don't think it's-
6:30 is fine.
6:30, okay, let's do 6:30.
Okay. And
Okay,
so,
Constable was nodding his head, can you not do it at that time? You cannot? What time can you do that?
Well, he's got other constables too.
6?
He's got 3 more.
On the 13th, which is a Monday?
work it out.
Would you do me a favor, please? Would you move that podium? Just move it between those chairs so I can't see. Appreciate that, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, so that will be posted as a special board meeting.
Okay.
To interview candidates for general counsel. Did you want to have on that agenda an actual decision regarding it, or just the interviews?
I was anticipating it was just interviews.
And then we would put the general counsel decision on the 15th agenda?
Yeah,
Okay, and so we would not normally plan to attend
I
your
understand.
interview session, so if, Linda, if you could take minutes from the 13th and just get it to him, we'll put them together.
Okay,
And it will be still recorded, right?
I have no idea how
Up
this
to the-
works.
It's up to the board if they want to record it.
I think we should, that way, because it's hard for me to talk and take minutes, but that way I can.
I understand that.
Take
I
better
totally get
We have to
that.
let them know, right, that that we're recording?
No, it's public meeting.
If it's a
Okay,
public meeting, then we should record it.
yeah. Okay.
And we're not doing it on the 8th at night because of time constraints?
Well, I was trying to condense everything for the holidays, but if you consider that to be easier on your workload, that we spread it out, yeah, I'm more
Well,
than
I
fine.
wanna work with a group, but I had planned my schedule around 8th and 9th, but.
Okay,
Can
hey,
we
listen,
find-
I'm okay with staying with that. I was just trying, I didn't know, because we're gonna have to be here on that week anyway, if that was gonna be helpful. If it's not helpful, I don't have a problem changing it.
I can do either, how's that?
Okay,
He's
Which is
indecisive.
better for you.
yeah.
The 8th and 9th.
The
Let's
8th
do
and
the 8th
9th?
and
Well, let's then do the 8th and the 9th
Do
then.
we need to do both dates?
No, I think we need to pick a date.
Okay.
So, pick a date.
The 8th,
8 sounds
The
good.
8th, okay,
6:30, Art?
6:30.
okay,
Good.
okay.
Just the interviews on that one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the
And then
interview.
the 13th will be the DRC meeting still?
Yeah, we can continue doing that, okay.
So the 15th will still be at 6 o'clock instead of
Yes.
5:30?
Yes.
Now we're going back to the,
Regular schedule.
Okay, so let me just go back through this real quick so we get the postings right.
Okay,
We're going to post a special board meeting for December 8th, starting at 6:30, this building, for interviews of candidates for general counsel. That's the one agenda item. Linda's going to provide minutes to Allison so we can document it, but we will not attend. The next meeting will be the DRC meeting, December 13th, starting at 6:30 p.m., followed by the regular board meeting on December 15th, starting at 6 p.m.
correct.
Okay.
Bill, I just have one question for you.
Mhm.
It is not a requirement by the water code that an attorney be present for the meeting?
For a meeting in general, the only requirements kick in on executive sessions, when you want to go into executive session. So,
Alright.
no, it's
Okay.
not required by the water code.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now, we're on agenda item 8, right?
Right, correct.
Did you have more, Catherine?
No, that was it.
Okay, I'd like to add to that agenda item 8, please. Allison, I'm gonna give you this list. Communications policy violations, the waste management 2022 recycling calendar, performance review of sage management, and the case conference receipts. They need a vote by the board. And everything else on the list that I've been submitting for the last 4 months, that Catherine denies a spot on the agenda.
Okay, so I'm ready to go into executive session. So do you have that little thing for me to read?
Okay, I'll just put 3, 6, and 7 on.
Okay. Board of Directors will now go into closed session for consultation with the district's attorney pursuant to section 551.071 of the District Government Code regarding agenda numbers 3, 6, and 7. All personal items belonging to the public will need to be removed from the meeting room at this time. Okay. And Jimmy, could you turn off the recording, please?
Yes, I will.